welcome to the Farmhouse. I'm Stephanie Speicher.
And I'm Candice Wierzbowski.
And we are coming to you from the road, currently in Candice's car. She is driving. I'm holding the microphone. She is being perfectly safe.
I would give a little honk right now, except I don't want to startle the cars around me.
So, Candice, can you tell all of our lovely listeners, where on earth are we driving to?
We are heading down to Annapolis, Maryland, where we are going to be attending a Women in Ag conference.
Yes, so the Mid-Atlantic Women in Ag Conference, which is technically in Stevensville, but we are first heading to Annapolis to spend a lovely night there on Valentine's Day. That is our Valentine's Day plans. You'll be listening to this long after Valentine's Day, but that was what we did for Valentine's Day. How many times can you say that holiday in a sentence? We are making records here. And then, on February 15th, we are going to the Mid-Atlantic Women in Ag Conference. So, what is our plan when we get there? Not to Annapolis, but to the conference itself.
Well, we are going to be mingling with the women who are attending the conference, and we are going to be asking them a few questions about being women in ag and their experiences.
So yeah, we're going to be talking to a bunch of different farm women and women who work in some aspect of agriculture and compiling it all for you to listen to. So enjoy. We're going to keep driving down the road and have fun. Did you always want to work in agriculture?
Yes. I grew up in a very agriculture-dominated family. Both sides of my family were in 4-H, and that's actually how my parents met. And my grandfather worked for the same seed company that I'm now working for. So, yeah.
I didn't. I've always been kind of like parallel to ag or like environmental science. I originally went for like coastal restoration, wetland preservation, being from Louisiana, but I have tobacco farmers and fishers in my family, and started to learn a lot about food access in college, and it kind of geared me towards a path of working in agriculture alongside farmers and food producers.
Always. I have always been in the dirt. I have always been that person who was the rock collector, the bug finder, the caterpillar holder. Always been in ag in some form or fashion.
No, I grew up in town, and when I was in high school, I fell in love with a guy who was a farmer, and it really inspired me to want to do something to help farmers. So when I went to college, I took general agriculture at Delaware State University, and poultry was the biggest thing in this area, and to stay local, that's how I got into the poultry business.
I grew up on a 4th-generation family farm, so I've been exposed to agriculture from day one. I always knew I wanted to work in agriculture, but I wasn't sure exactly how that would translate. I got a degree in biology and was encouraged to add a soil science minor, and that's how I tied agriculture into my interest in biology.
Oh yeah, I grew up on a farm. I started working on a farm at the age of 8 and just always knew that's what I wanted to do and got to do it.
I did always want to work in agriculture. Growing up, I loved being outside, grew up with farm animals, mainly horses, and I just knew that agriculture was a field I wanted to go into. I just wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. So very involved in 4-H and FFA growing up, went in as an ag business major into college.
How is your job now related to ag?
So I work part-time on my farm with my husband. We raise poultry, we have cows, and we grow hay, corn, soybeans, things like that. So I'm very involved in all aspects of the farm.
So I'm a flower farmer florist, which most people look at me and they go, wait, you're a what? So instead of just being the person who actually grows the florals, we're the ones who grows the florals and then uses them in the florals.
So I get to be the county extension agent, and so I learn all kinds of things about agriculture, things I didn't even know existed, because we are at the other end of the phone or email or desk when someone walks in or calls or emails about they have an issue or a problem or a question. And so I get to do a lot of different aspects of agriculture. I learn about crops, pests, plants, disease, animals, rotational grazing, things I probably never thought I would focus on.
So I work for University of Delaware as a poultry extension agent, and so I travel statewide trying to help poultry growers be more competitive in their production costs, also be more mindful of animal welfare, but also environmental stewardship. And then I'm also a poultry farmer myself.
So I work for the Maryland Department of Agriculture doing resource conservation. So we help farmers with resource conservation, identifying issues and finding programs and cost share. We also work to give them credit for what they're doing in terms of resource conservation already. So we're on farms pretty frequently with the job.
So I work for a vegetable seed company called HM Klaus. I'm the product development specialist, so I help create new varieties of fresh market vegetables.
Well, I have lots of jobs that are related to ag. So I'm a farmer. I have Deerfield Farms. I have a poultry and grain operation. My two sons farm also, but I'm a 10th generation farmer. And I also work for the University of Maryland Extension in Queen Anne's County, so I'm a county agriculture agent. So from the time my feet hit the floor till I go to bed at night, my life is about agriculture.
What is exciting to you about ag right now or in the future?
What's exciting to me about agriculture is that consumers are starting to ask questions about where their food comes from more than I think I've ever experienced. That's really exciting to me because that means that farmers are going to be highlighted more and, yes, maybe critiqued or looked at. With more attention comes more attention. But I think that's the thing that's most exciting to me because then we have the idea of okay, eyes are on this and we can really do some positive changes because there's been historically some situations where farmers were supposedly getting good things happening to them, like subsidies or whatever, but we've later found out that those were actually kind of detrimental to them. And so I'm hoping with more attention around it, there'll be some more support so that when we move forward, it's more of a sustainably moving process than something that we think is right and then is actually handicapping us.
Young farmers. I feel like we had a big Young Farmers Coalition group in Louisiana that I've still sort of been trying to navigate finding here. But as I've been going to a lot of conferences, especially in the last 2 years, you just see so many more young people sitting in the room and sitting at the table, and we need those kids. We need future thinkers and eaters at the table, and that's really exciting.
I think just the number of women that are, just moving to the forefront and that are taking over farms now. We're not just farm wives, we're more than that.
Well, I am excited by what I do. So bees, a lot of people are getting into it, and I've been doing it for about 10 years, and TikTok and all the kids are seeing that beautiful Texas Bee Works lady put her hand in the bees, and everyone's seen that video. So I do a lot of beekeeping experiences. People come to my farm and learn how to beekeep, and they think they want to be that person, and that's exciting because that's something new. So social media is kind of shedding a light on bees and their purpose and what they do, what they're meant for. In ag, they're basically like flying cattle. They're not endangered like a lot of people think honeybees are critically endangered or something. So a lot of people get into bees and they want to save them, but it's like you're saving the wrong bees. So it excites me to get that people are interested, and then to teach them the facts of the honeybee.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. I like seeing how the technology is evolving. I have two cousins who are engineers, and so they get to help make the new combines and stuff. And just talking with our growers, hearing how they're improving their processes is very exciting to me.
I love the fact that ag is constantly dynamic. It's constantly changing and evolving. If you are looking for something that is static, go do accounting and don't do ag, because ag is constantly moving, it's constantly dynamic, and it's constantly awesome.
Exactly.
I think what's most exciting to me is trying to build the bridges of understanding, because we have so many people who are not involved in agriculture, and just so that we can continue to grow, especially on Delmarva, as we see a greater amount of development and a change in our population, is to really try to build that bridge of understanding so that they understand what we're doing and really try to help dispel some of the myths and misconceptions people have.
Is there a woman in ag who inspires you?
Do I have to just pick one? No. I think there's a lot of women in ag that inspire all of us. I think of teachers in the past. I think of other folks in the community from day to day. I think of the kids who are coming up behind us. I think there's a lot of different women in ag who are inspirational.
There's quite a few, but the one that I probably know the best is probably Emily Ernest, who's talking here today. I've been working with her since I worked at my previous job at Kreitseed, so she's a great woman and is just very knowledgeable and good to talk with.
Yes, I love Tammy Horn. I love Tammy Horn. She's a writer, a bee lady. Yeah.
I think a good inspiration is my boss, Shannon Dill. She is an expert in business planning for agriculture. She's great with people, and she's been a great mentor to work with in terms of kind of my professional aspirations within programming and extension.
Shelby, my boss, inspires me, to be really honest. She does it all. Sometimes I don't know how she does it all. She is someone who is both a farmer and, she's feminine. Not that you don't have, but it's just, to me, it's so powerful to see a woman who's a mother, who's her own person. She's not, she's passionate, she's educated, she's down to earth. And I think all those qualities are things that I really love in people in general, and that she's in ag. I think anyone who's in agriculture, I think farmers are the smartest people I've ever met. And so to see her in such close proximity and be able to work with her, she really is someone I admire.
Pretty much every woman that I've met that is farming and doing just great things for the land and for the industry has totally inspired me. I have a list of people that have been very influential in my work over the number of years. But I'm going to say my work bestie, Jenny Rhodes. So she's my co-chair here, and she keeps me excited about things, and I love being able to partner with her, and we collaborate. So I'm gonna call out my buddy Jenny.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry on that one. That would be my mother. So she's here today. So we have been to every Women in Ag conference, for 23 years. But she was definitely a woman in ag when really they were, she drove the trucks. My mom's a registered nurse, but she always worked on the farm, drove trucks, drove tractors. And today you can see we get lots of different women in ag, so that's what's exciting.
And then final question, what does being a woman in ag mean to you?
It just means... it means a lot. That's a heavy question because I'm a female beekeeper. I work alone in farmers' fields, a lot of male-dominated area. So just, being able to elbow my way around and sometimes just being able to stand my ground. And I grew up with 5 brothers, so it's not hard. So, but by my looks, a lot of people think that I'm something else or that's very easy to walk over me or something, but it's not. So, and a lot of people will think that my husband owns the business, and he actually doesn't. So, but to be a woman in ag, it's just about just standing up in a room full of men sometimes, and just saying, we're equal, and yeah, I'm here too.
I've said it like 3 times, but like having a seat at the table and having representation, and I know that like women in ag represent some 30% of all farmers, but you have so many more that are decision makers and like that are like boots on the ground you don't realize, but just representation.
What does being a woman in ag mean to me? It means that I can be whoever I want to be. I can change things for the future, and it means that I can show the kids, my kids, that I can drive the tractor and still wear a dress and do all of the things. And then I get to, do it a little different.
I think that women in agriculture have different responsibilities and roles than men in agriculture. I think a lot of being a woman in agriculture is also taking care of people and taking care of other things. I think women are innovative. I think women are leaders. And I think women have a lot of things they think about when it comes to decision making. So I think it's exciting, and there's such a great community of people to look up to and to network with in the Mid-Atlantic, but in the whole country when it comes to being a woman in agriculture.
Being a woman in ag means you have a lot of responsibility. I think because we are the women, we are the caretakers, we are the mothers, we are the ones that are holding up a lot of what's going on. And so we have to be smart. We have to understand that this is an idea of like caretaking, of cultivating, and to do our best, and also to reach out and build community. Women are really good about that, about like having tribes and things like that. And I think more so than ever, we need to make sure that we build those healthy communities, those healthy tribes, so that we can like lean on each other and learn from each other.
Woman in ag, to me, I'm going to go from our tagline from the organization we have. It's women with a passion for agriculture. And we really don't focus just at the farm level. It's anyone in the industry that's influencing agriculture and profitability and the food chain. So to me, it's all of those things. The women that have a passion for agriculture is what it is.
Means I'm awesome. I work with a lot of men all day, every day, so it's earning that respect, especially at a younger age. It's a lot of fun, and I like the challenge of it.
So Candice, we survived. We have made it back to the studio in Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
In one piece.
And I thought everything went really well.
Yeah, it was great seeing everyone, great talking to everyone. And we want to give a special shout out and thank you to the following women who took the time to talk with us.
My name is Lakin Bankert.
Christina Berthelot.
Liza Goetz.
Georgie Cortanza.
Jenny Rhodes.
Shannon Dill.
Catherine Perry.
Lauren Pascarella.
Juliana Burns.
Sophie Bronze.
So Candice, this was your first time and my first time at the Women in Ag conference. So what were your thoughts?
I really enjoyed myself. It was really encouraging and exciting to be there and listen to all of these women talk about their experiences. And it was interesting how many of them had similar things to say about what it's like to be a woman in ag, particularly about how important it is for them to feel like they have a seat at the table, and how important it is to experience that visibility so that not only are they recognized, but, they're also then visible to other people who might be interested in pursuing a career in ag, and, letting those people know that it is okay to step up, even if you are a woman, and take your place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, it was very apparent when we were there, whether it was like at a keynote speech or in one of the different breakout sessions, it was all just like round tables. So you would just sit down with, group of women who you don't know, and I felt like immediately I was friends with everyone at the table. Like everyone was so nice and just wanted to chat and get to know each other, and yeah, I thought it was a really nice time.
Yeah, it was a great welcoming atmosphere for everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you have a personal highlight of the day?
The one breakout session I did was about marketing, and Liza, who you heard from actually in this podcast, was the leader of the session, and she has a flower farm. And she had everybody, whoever was at your table, here's this gorgeous bouquet of flowers, like basically design a social media ad for it, just like in your head. And that was so much fun. And everyone had such creative responses. And I just, as the social media person here, I really enjoyed that. And I thought that was a really fun little like experiment and way to get everybody involved.
Very nice.
What about you? Did you have a favorite?
I did. I attended a breakout session that was basically doing modified yoga upstairs, and it was like a bunch of us and a lot of young ladies in FFA who were just doing these great stretches and great movement exercises, and it was just a really nice way to kind of wrap up the day. And I'm hoping that a lot of those women took that knowledge home, because whether you are sitting on a tractor or, working behind a desk, I feel like that kind of movement is really good for you. Yeah, it was a great experience.
So yeah, this episode obviously was a little different than what we have done for our past episodes, but if you guys didn't know, tomorrow, March 8th, is International Women's Day, and we just thought this would be the perfect way to celebrate that day and just include so many different voices of women in ag. So thank you all so much for listening to this special episode, and hopefully everyone has an awesome International Women's Day tomorrow.
Go out and treat yourself to something nice.
Yes, love it. We will be taking a little break. We will not be publishing any episodes on the 14th or 21st of March, but we do have something special planned for March 28th.
Yeah, please join us. We're going to be having a roundtable discussion of this current season of Farmer Wants a Wife. Steph and I will be here, and we will be joined by some of our Lancaster Farming colleagues who, if you follow us on the website, also like to voice their opinions on the show. And so you'll get to hear from them for the first time on air.
Yes, so if you are watching the show, or even if you're not watching the show, tune in for that episode, because that will be a lot of fun for us and for you. I really think it'll be a good one. After that, April 4th, we will be back to our regularly scheduled programming. So we'll have a normal episode on April 4th with an interview and everything that you're accustomed to. So yeah, that's it for us for a tiny bit.
Until then, you can reach us at FarmHouse@LancasterFarming.com, and you can also find us on social media.
We are on both TikTok and Instagram as @Lancaster Farming, and we are on Facebook as Lancaster Farming.
And you can also feel free to rate or leave a review or subscribe to our podcast, because that always helps as well.
Thank you all so much for listening. This is our 10th episode, actually, so
we've made it so far.
Yeah, I feel like we've come a long way since episode 1, and we really appreciate having you all along for the ride with us and for joining us here in the farmhouse every single week.
So until we come back in April.
Yeah, so I'm Stephanie.
I'm Candice.
This is the farmhouse, and we'll see you soon. No, we won't. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Credits.
This episode. It was like, what was I?
You need to click into the right robot mode.
This episode of The Farmhouse is copyright 2024 by Lancaster Farming Newspaper, part of the Steinman Communications family. Today's show was written by Stephanie Speicher and Candice Wierzbowski, and produced by Eric Herlock. The music you hear throughout the show is courtesy of Tin Bird Shadow.